So today I'm reacting to Foodie's latest mukbang video entitled Anti-Diet Mukbang Pasta Bishamal, and I can't pronounce the last part. Is it malfouf? If I'm pronouncing it wrong, please just excuse me. I just can't pronounce the last word correctly. It's basically cabbage rolls. So I've been putting off reacting to this all day, and I'll tell you why. Because as someone that I've had my own issues with food, I watched the mukbang and I just kept shaking my head and feeling disgusted and sad and angry. You guys know how I feel about Foodie and her issues with food. You guys know how I feel about someone getting on YouTube, and if they have a problem with food, monetizing that problem rather than seeking out help and therapy. I've always said that by Foodie doing this kind of content with her problem, she is essentially doing self-harm content, and that should never be promoted or monetized. So when I watch Foodie doing mukbangs like this, I see it through the eyes of someone that I've been there. I never monetized my problem, but I look at it and go, why? Just why? Like, why would you do this if you are making good money on YouTube, and if you have the resources and you've got the funds and you've got the time and you've got the opportunity and you've got the space to fix the problem? Why wouldn't you? Because it's always a bad idea for someone to trade their greatest wealth, which is their health, for money. And Foodie Beauty, she has traded 100% of her health for monthly paychecks. And the cost of getting that paycheck has been very high. Limited mobility, not wanting to go out in public, breathing problems, all kinds of health problems, an enlarged liver, heart problems, lung problems, diabetes. I mean, you name it. She's a mess inside and out, all for the sake of earning money on YouTube and getting attention on YouTube. So as much as I would like to be funny during this video, I really can't. I'm going to just keep it real with y'all. I don't see anything funny about this. I look at it from a state of just feeling sad and disgusted and frustrated. And so Thorny Rose might come out today. I'm not going to be nice. I'm really not going to be nice. So we're going to go over the mukbang video. And I'm also going to show you some stuff on Twitter and the comments of this video, because Foodie, as much as you like to say that it's the reactors that are haters, if people are leaving comments on your videos, on your live streams, echoing pretty much the same things that the reactors are saying, are you going to label every single person who steps forward and they give an opposing opinion? Are you going to say that they're also haters? That anybody who is not in agreement with what you're doing to yourself, we are supposed to be haters? No, maybe we are people that we're just seeing things with different eyes. You're on the inside looking out. We're on the outside looking in. And maybe you should take that perspective and do something with it besides ignore it. So let me just go ahead and bring up Twitter. Let's start there first. Let's not get into the darkness and the sadness that is her mukbang. Let's just start with Twitter first. Try to keep it kind of light for now. So there's my Twitter. Kristen says, hashtag Foodie Beauty video tags. I saw a bit of this one as it uploaded, and all I have to say is that she is a glutton. It's mind-boggling. So here are the tags that Foodie put with the mukbang. Mukbang, Foodie Beauty, Kuwait, Middle Eastern food, pasta bechamel, mashi, cabbage rolls, mukbang, social eating, eating sounds, fat girl eating show. So does anybody have any doubts that she's catering almost exclusively to the Foodie people now, I don't think there should be any doubts. I think Foodie is just doing anything and everything to make money. And once upon a time, before Natter came into the picture, that was her bread and butter, doing the videos and doing mukbangs and catering to that group of people. And so she's trying harder than ever to get the biggest amount of people in her audience that are into that sort of fetish. I mean, why else would she put this tag right here? You're looking for the feeders. You're looking for those people that are seeking out people doing mukbangs, and you're wanting to gather them to your channel again. And there's something on my mind that I'd like to say. Something that's been on my mind for a while. Anyone who might be watching this video, perhaps you're someone that you're thinking of making a channel yourself, and you might not know what to do right away. You may not be sure of the kind of content that you'd like to do, but you're looking around on YouTube and you're just trying to take notice of what the bigger channels are, what kind of content they're doing. You know, looking for clues about what might be successful on YouTube. Can I say that for anybody looking at Foodie, taking notice of Foodie, if you have that thought in your head of she's got a 92K channel and she's getting a lot of views and she's making a lot of money, can I urge you to please not follow Foodie in that sense? Don't follow her example, because again, the cost of her channel has been her health. You know, on the surface, it may look like she's doing well, but once you get below the surface, it's a whole different story. She makes a paycheck on YouTube, but look at the price she's paid. She can barely walk. She can barely breathe. She doesn't really want to go out in public. Is that the kind of price tag that anybody wants to pay for a paycheck? No, absolutely not. She could turn her life around. She's not interested. If anything, she is speeding up the process of ruining more of her health. So here we are. And I did notice the title, Foodie, anti-diet. That would also be a signal to the Foodie people to follow you. Although you were never really on a diet, were you? No, you were never on a true diet. Even if you were, though, diets don't work with people who have issues with food, because diets are meant for losing small amounts of weight. And if you have a problem with food, that's a complete lifestyle change and healing past issues that might be tied up with food. But yeah, Foodie, you know, I don't even know why she just doesn't just come right out and say, yeah, I'm catering to the Foodie people. I mean, obvious is obvious. Why not just come right out and say, yes, this is what this channel is about. I'm catering to those people. You might as well just do that, Foodie. At this point, you might as well just go that route, because it's evident what you're doing. Ray says, well, hold on. How did I miss this? It's so humiliating. Sala offers her his last bites of sandwich, and she says no, but you can tell she really wanted to say yes. This is cringe, embarrassing. So I did react to that video. That part where Foodie, she ate a really big meal at Raising Cane's, and then she said she wanted more, although she didn't need any more. She even said in the video, like, she wasn't really full. She could have kept going, but she was acting like she was done. She wasn't done. She probably ate a second or third meal after the camera was shut off. Okay, this is from John Galt saying, didn't she buy this abaya a few days into Ramadan? So this was when she first got the abaya. And here's the same abaya. And it's not been that long. It's not even been a year or 6 months. And you can tell that she's gained just by the way it's clinging to her. it seemed to have a bit more room here, and it's not got very much room here. It's practically skin tight. So Foodie, listen, you need to slow it down with gaining the weight. Now, I know you're trying to use the abaya to disguise your weight gain, but rather than disguising it, how about dealing with it? Trying to hide what's going on and trying to escape from it and cover it up, it's not working anymore. Unbelievably annoying cat voice says, who eats saucy cabbage rolls and pasta with their hands? Foodie, when she's catering to a certain group of people. Foodie. This video was strictly for the Foodie people. Nobody else. Wanting them to reach out to her in emails and on Instagram, perhaps pay her for custom content. And I'll say it again, it is my opinion that I think because she's catering to that certain group of people, to make her content more exclusive, to make it more different and unique, she might be taking the angle of not only am I catering to that fetish, but I'm doing it as a Muslim woman, which would definitely put her in a unique category, because there's lots of people that cater to that fetish. But how many Muslim women are out there doing mukbangs, especially during Ramadan? That might net her some extra money. And a Foodie, if that is the reason why you put on the abaya and you're wearing the hijab, shame on you. Shame. You really, if you're going to do mukbangs, I think if you're not feeling the faith in your heart, you should take off the abaya and take off the hijab and just do regular mukbangs. You're trying to create a certain niche within a niche, and you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Okay, little palette cleanser from Deserted Places. This place looks beautiful. It looks like a small house, but it looks cozy. I would love to go in there, explore, see if the inside is worth saving. You guys know how I feel about deserted places. Like, I'm always looking at different architecture and saying, I would love to take photographs. I would love to just walk in there. And when I see an old building, I don't automatically think just demolish it. My mind goes into, I want to save it. There's history there. I want to save it. I don't automatically tear it down, just save it for whatever purpose. Can we fix it up? Can we do something with it? That's how my mind works. Katie, with the emoji faces. Lillian Thorne says she looks bigger than ever. There's no way she's cut down her food consumption or working out. So here's some pictures of Foodie. Yeah, you've not been working out, Foodie. You've not been working out. Because if you've been working out, anybody that's ever worked out, especially for the first time, for the first few weeks, you are in pain. You're like, oh, my legs are sore, my arms are sore, my back is sore. I'm sore in places I never knew existed. You're saying that. You're feeling that. You have trouble walking, you're stiff all over. And she hasn't made those same complaints. So if she's not complaining about how sore she is, she's not working out. Florida Salt and Sass says, how long is Sala going to stick around if she eats herself to being bedbound? How romantic is this going to be when he has to wipe her butt and clean between her fupa folds? I've never seen anyone as unconcerned about burdening anyone around her as Chantal. Well, here is the scary thing about Foodie. Here is the absolute scary thing about Miss Foodie Beauty. She strikes me as someone that where most of us, if we had bad health and we have a bit of a health scare, perhaps something medical, where most of us would have the response of, okay, I need to wake up and I need to do something. Foodie would have the opposite reaction. If she were in a situation of because she's a diabetic, let's just say her losing a toe or losing her leg or losing a finger. And I'm not wishing those things upon Foodie, mind you. I'm just saying because she's a diabetic, those things could happen. If any one of those things happened to her, rather than having that wake up moment and saying, I need to do something, knowing Foodie, she would be the kind of that she would try to turn that into some kind of arc or content. She would go to her viewers and say, oh, I lost a finger or gangrene on my leg or something, and feel sorry for me and send me super chats. That would be how she would handle it. In my opinion, she's so far gone that nothing is going to stop her from doing what she's doing. She's already had warning signs. Her body has given her signals that she needs to slow down, that she needs to stop, that she needs to turn and go another way. And she is not slowing down. If anything, she's speeding up. And she will turn everything and anything into content, especially hurt. Hurt is her content. Hurting herself is content. If she feels any kind of pain, that's content. So that is the sad and scary thing about Foodie Beauty, is that no matter how bad it gets, nothing is going to scare her into a different direction. Whiplash says, I like my food, but is this more than enough for 2 people? Why is she doing this to herself? Because she's catering to the Foodie people. Katie says, can't be done with something you've never started. Yes, you never started a diet. She never dieted. If anything, with it being Ramadan, I think with it being the time of Ramadan over in Kuwait, in my opinion, I think because it's during the time of Ramadan, because she's got a problem with food, that's just going to trigger her to eat even more. Chantal is a food addict. And if you're someone and you are addicted to something and you're not in recovery and you're not ready to stop, if something is going on around you and somebody tells you, okay, you're addicted to, I'm just going to make up something benign. If you're addicted to cotton balls and you got to have cotton balls every day, handfuls of them, and you love the feel of them, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody tells you, well, I know you're used to having handfuls of cotton balls, but for a month, you can't hold the cotton balls in your hands for 6 to 8 hours. What is that going to prompt you to do? You're going to go crazy holding the cotton balls as long as you can, because you're going to have to suddenly go without. It's going to trigger you to go nuts with the cotton balls. In Chantal's case, she's not used to going without food. She's used to having it anytime she wants, as much as she likes. So during this time of Ramadan, she's having B moments with the food because she knows she's supposed to be going without. And it's just mentally, emotionally, it triggers you to do more while you can. What's making it worse is the fact that she's taking medication, and one of the side effects of the medication is weight gain. So here we have a super morbidly obese woman who has a problem with food, who is taking medication, and one of the side effects is weight gain. So it's just like things are not lined up in her favor to be healthy. And she is not slowing down. I mean, she did a mukbang, and anything, she's speeding up. Things are not looking happy over there. Florida Salt and Sass says the girls always eat like sloppy toddlers. So gross. Yeah, you know what's frustrating? I sometimes watch mukbang channels, and I've seen many mukbangers that they come on camera, they look presentable, they look professional. They're not eating sloppy. They're not being gross about it. So if Chantal wanted to do mukbangs, I mean, you can be neat. You don't have to be sloppy. She's not doing a true mukbang. What she's doing is catering to the Foodie people, because all the stuff that she does in her videos caters to them. She's not really, she's catering to the Foodie people, but she's disguising it as a mukbang to get away with it. Like as you can see, there's food on her hijab. You can do a mukbang without all that, Chantal. You don't have to be gross with it. There's plenty of mukbangers that they come on camera neat. They're not sloppy. The food isn't going everywhere. It's not on the floor. So you're just trying to cater to different groups of people. And because you are, the presentation just gets lost in translation. Miss Mary Cab MC says, Sala coming through with the horrible angles like his livelihood depends on it. You know, Sala, I think you like to throw silent shade at Chantal. You're not saying anything outright to let her know that you can't stand her, but by doing things like this, you're kind of saying it without saying it. You know that she's very sensitive about her side angles, but yet you seem to capture a lot of them. Like when she's not looking, if she's standing to the side, you film her that way. So tell me again, Chantal, that he loves you, because he's making sure to show you in any and every unflattering angle what he can get his hands on. This is from Shenanigans. This is from the mukbang video. Shenanigans says, sounds like she's going to be leaning into the mukbangs again. Okay, so let's play the clip.
I've changed my mind a lot between like if I like doing mukbangs and if I don't like doing mukbangs.
Oh, she's speaking so fast.
I think I don't like doing mukbangs when my relationship with food is bad. But I love doing mukbangs.
Huh? You don't like what? Did you guys hear what she just said? Let me play it again.
I've changed my mind a lot between like if I like doing mukbangs and if I don't like doing mukbangs. I think I don't like doing mukbangs when my relationship with food is bad.
Chantal, you have a problem with food. You got a big, big problem with food. Do you know what that means? That means your relationship with food is bad currently. This is not a past problem from like 2 years ago. This is a problem ongoing. If you have BED, that means your relationship with food is bad. Hence why you have the disorder. Hello? I mean, girl, you didn't get to 500 plus pounds by having a good relationship with food. You got to that weight because your relationship with food is very bad. And you're using it as medication for all your problems, for all of your worries, for all of your stress. You've got health problems because your relationship with food is bad. You're speaking as if it were a past problem. It's a present problem. Present as in right now, as in this minute. What do you mean?
But I love doing mukbangs whenever, if not, like.
Little spoiler, guys. So I did watch this mukbang, and it was very strange. Very, very strange, because when Chantal does a mukbang, we've seen her do mukbangs in the past. She would be absolutely loving it. Doing a mukbang was like her wheelhouse, her forte. Strangely, though, when she did this mukbang, she didn't look so happy. Like she wasn't happy doing it. And I just couldn't put my finger on it, but maybe I'll figure it out when I watch the whole thing.
If I just like refuse to feel guilty about what I'm eating, then I love doing mukbangs because I love food. I've changed my mind a lot between like.
Okay. Now I'm just going to throw this in here before I forget. Anybody who's been watching Chantal for a while, do y'all remember when she would sit there and do her mukbangs and she would do that I said thing? I've got a theory, and I'm throwing it on the table, and you guys can tell me what you think, because I love reading your comments. I like different points of view because sometimes you learn things that way. So that I said thing that she would always do. My theory. Sometimes when you're doing something that you know is not good for you, something you should not be doing, sometimes you get that thought in your head, the inner voice, if you will, that speaks up and says, you shouldn't be doing this. My theory, I think Chantal would get those thoughts and she would hear that inner voice. And I said shh thing, that was her way of telling the inner voice to shut up. I know that sounds weird, but if you're having those thoughts of, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, or this is a bad idea, out loud, she's replying to that voice. She's telling that voice, shut up. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to eat what I want to eat. Just my thoughts, just my theory. You guys can tell me what you think. Because who else was she speaking to? Who else was she saying shh to? There's nobody that can talk back to her. She was doing videos at that time. Nobody was doing a live chat and saying you shouldn't be eating that. So in essence, she was kind of talking to herself. Okay, what else we got here? New account Beeson says, LMAO, what is that abaya is tight as heck now. How is this modest? Yeah, abayas are supposed to be very loose fitting. Very, very loose fitting because it's desert climate. And part of what keeps you cool is having on something that's not too tight and flows and the airflow can get underneath. But her abayas are too tight. So if you're wearing an abaya to be comfortable, Chantal, to stay cooler, if you're wearing something that is that tight, it's only going to make you feel warmer and more uncomfortable. Yeah, like I know that Chantal's wearing the biggest size abaya, but if you keep on the path that you're on, Foodie, soon you're going to have abayas that are custom made for you because, you can't go any higher as far as the normal store sizes. This is from Queen of WTF, another clip from the video. Let's watch.
Mom used to make it just like noodles. A meat sauce with like Prego, pasta sauce, or ragu.
So that's something we haven't heard in a while. The little hee-hee laugh that she used to do. And another thing that we haven't seen much of recently. Y'all remember about a year or two ago, like she would have a lot of tics. Notice the tics aren't there anymore. So were the tics caused by excessive use of rugs? Or were you doing the tics as performance art? Because the tics haven't been there in a while. And now you're back to using the old classic Foodie laugh, trying to, I guess, to attract the feeders that were part of your channel long ago. Interesting. Interesting how certain behaviors that she has, they come and go at will. Absolutely come and go at will. Florida Salt and Sass says, tell us you're broke without telling us you're broke. Oh, oops, sorry. Skipped ahead too much. Miriam Pondu says, some people find pictures of me where I kind of look fat and share them. I look at this picture, Foodie, and I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. Like, I'm 5'4". You're not even 5 feet tall. They're what, 5 feet tall? I'm 4 inches taller than you. Like, how much more weight can you gain before your body just cannot handle it anymore? I don't know, and maybe you don't know, but I wouldn't be pushing it if I were you. Kristen says, Shala must have really told Foodie Beauty that if she wanted more food the next time they went to Raising Cane's, she better get some doggone content out because here is upload number 2 for the day. So I guess he's told her that she needs to put out more and more content to make more and more money because the money's going down. Well, if the money's going down, Foodie, maybe it's because you're doing the vlogs and you're doing the skits and the videos are 8 minutes long. How much money can you honestly make on 8 minutes? Seriously. Like, you're not going to make much on an 8 minute video. You know, you're doing it to yourself. From Malarkey Meter saying he 100% did this to make fun of her. Too bad she's a complete moron and can't see it. So this is from the beach video, which I'm not going to review because why? But here's the clip that everybody's talking about. And I don't know if she did this on purpose for the reaction channels. Chantal can yell and scream at us all she wants, but you can't tell me that she doesn't deliberately do things to get the reaction channels talking. But I watched this clip and all I can say is, Foodie, if you're in a spot where you can't even run, you can't jog, because you've reached a weight where you just have limited mobility, I wouldn't think that was funny. I'd be turning my life around pretty quickly. You're on the beach, and yes, I know that it's hard to run in sand. I've tried it myself, but you can't even jog at your current weight. You really, really need to fix that. And see. Okay, here's a little palate cleanser. Cats that heal your depression. A kitty and it looks like a deer. Aw. That's so precious. All right, that's all the stuff on Twitter. So let me just go over here to Chantal's mukbang. But before we get into the actual mukbang, for those who don't want to watch her eat, because I am going to get spicy. I'm not going to hold back with Chantal today. But if you don't want to see her eat, and I completely understand, I get it, not the nicest thing in the world, let's go to the comments. And remember, Chantal, remember, these people in the comments, they are not reaction channels. They are not those doing reactions to you that their channels are monetized or even unmonetized. They are just viewers. And these are people that are part of your channel. They're just giving their opinions. And a lot of the opinions are the similar opinions of those who react to you. So are we all haters? Is every single opposing opinion coming from a hater? No, it's just people voicing their thoughts. So Lily Opal says, you have all the signs of being diabetic. That's because she is. Chantal is a diabetic. If y'all remember, she was doing the shots. Oh my God, what was the name of it? But it was a diabetic medication. She was doing it for weight loss and it didn't quite work. You will care about watching what you eat when you have a stroke or a heart attack. She should care about her health more. She doesn't. She cares about making a paycheck. That's clear. She's got the time, the resources, the energy to turn her life around, and she's not. So what can anybody do? What can the viewers do? What can the reactors do? What can Solid do? She's got to take the first step. She's got to care before she can expect anybody else to care. It's got to start with her. We Want Prenup says, go back and watch the last couple of vlogs you put out. If that isn't motivation for you to change your life, you'll never do it. No chicken strips or pasta is worth not being able to breathe after walking less than 5 minutes. And your husband is compliant. Well, that's because he's getting paid. He's just there to assist her in certain ways and get paid. And that's it. Even if Sala were deeply in love with Chantal, even if they were a real life couple, even if Sala came to her and said, hey, you're going crazy with the food. You need to stop. That's not going to stop her. She's got a problem with food. In my opinion, the only thing that would help Chantal is if she were put under very strict, locked down inpatient, where she could be monitored. She could not sneak food. She could not sneak out to get food. That would be the only thing that could help her. She has no self-control. She's very impulsive. You would either have to be strict, locked down, inpatient, or jail. That's it. If you leave her to her own devices, she will lose control. She'll be impulsive. She'll do what she wants. Somebody else has to take control because she won't do it and she can't do it. Anna Aisha says, why are you eating iftar separately? This is a time when the family comes together to break fast together, to eat together. It looks to me Salah is not home because every Muslim Arab I know would not accept it. I don't think he lives there. I think he lives separately from Chantal. And maybe she's doing her mukbangs alone now because maybe some people have said, you know, if you're going to do a mukbang, you need to do it by yourself. He doesn't need to be a part of it. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's it. No Fab says pushing down guilt isn't a good relationship with food. It is numbing the negatives like any other addiction. True. You can't use food as a cure-all for every problem, for any problem. Food's only job is to give you energy to go out into the world and do things. It is not a replacement for love or companionship. It is not something you should use to call back for happier times or nostalgia. You can't have any emotional anchors on food. You have to take them all off. You have to look at food and treat food the way it's supposed to be treated. You have to repair your relationship to food. And just like with men, she's got a very bad relationship with food as well. You know, like her relationships with men, her relationships to food, they're both toxic. They're both toxic. There's no normal relationship here. Shelly says, you don't feel bad about doing the mukbangs, but do you feel bad about putting burdens on your husband? Do you understand the opportunities that you had to get healthy during Ramadan? You supposedly have the support of someone that loves you, and you still continue to be on a destructive path. So are you going to the gym for the social opportunities? You are searching for directions for your channel, but the answers are right in front of you. You have the man of your dreams that is willing to help you get healthy and fit, but you do this. And what you did yesterday, eating that crap at the burger place, incredible. I really hope you live a long life, but this direction is only going to take you to many dark places. Well, sorry, we're already at a dark place. Self-harm content is a very, very dark place, Shelly. And all she's thinking about is making the money. And she doesn't care how she has to make it. She doesn't care if it means she's got to hurt herself. She's just going to do it because she's stubborn. She's absolutely stubborn. She's more concerned with making money and flipping a middle finger to the reaction channels than she is about taking care of her health. Chantal she's got her pride, you know, she's a very prideful person. And she will not admit defeat. She won't. Stubborn to a fault she is. She won't admit defeat. She's not that person to have a wake up epiphany moment and go, I'm hurting myself. And this whole marriage is BS and everybody knows it's BS. So I'm going to get on camera and say, yeah, it's BS and I'm tired of it. I'm going home to Canada. I'm going to fix my life. Having a wake up moment and going with that would help her. But she is determined to stick with this thing, to continue this lie, to hurt herself. What can any of us do? There's nothing we can do. Nothing. And you're right. The way she was eating at the burger place was just nonsense. And I'm curious about something, Foodie. Help me here. So you said you're an emotional eater. But you also said that you're happier in Kuwait. That you're happier with Salah. That you felt closer to Allah in Kuwait. According to you, you're happier in Kuwait than you were in Canada. But yet, ever since you went to Kuwait, you've been the picture of misery. So how does that work? If you're supposed to be a happier person, how come your attitude and your actions don't reflect that? You're not living in your truth. You're living in a lie. And everybody knows that but you. Oh, and thank you for saying this, Dry Girl. So the medication I was talking about that Chantal was on for a short period was Ozempic. Because this person, Dry Girl, is saying, why not try Ozempic? She did. She did try Ozempic. She got on it because she heard that people lost weight on it, although it's not a weight loss drug per se. She said she didn't like how it made her feel. It made her feel nauseous. So she stopped doing it. She was looking for a shortcut to losing weight. She tried the Ozempic. That didn't work. And then she moved on to doing uh, the nose candy. And she did a lot of it. And she lost about 70 pounds and then she gained it all back. So Chantal's always been looking around for a shortcut on losing weight. But spoiler, Foodie, there is no shortcut. There's no shortcut to doing that. If there were, people would be using it. People would know about it. People would share the information because a lot of people want to lose weight, but you are, I would say, easily 200 pounds overweight. So it took a while to get there. It's going to take a while to undo it. Yeah, but she tried the Ozempic though. She did. And then she let it go. Mama Miller says addiction is addiction. Yeah. And she's got several stacked on top of each other. And you can't take addiction for one thing and then transfer it to another thing and think that the first thing is gone. It don't work like that. Even if you get in recovery for an addiction, you are still an addict. You'll forever be an addict. It's just that you go from not being in recovery to being in recovery. And Chantal's not in recovery for anything. Ruby Lucy says, I think we are beyond the point of believing that this kind of eating is an occasional treat. This is normalcy. It's clear. You eat your problems and you need help. Yes, she does. She needs help, but she doesn't really want help. And she's not going to go get help. And there's nothing that any of us can do. Foodie's got to do it for herself. Lorna said, this is a classic mukbang for money behavior. Very transparent. Yep. For the feedy people. And here's something interesting, some interesting tidbit for my viewers. The whole origins of mukbangs. Where did it start? How did it start? Why did it start? Over in other countries, the mukbang thing started because in other countries, it wasn't the norm for people to go out and eat by themselves. So then people got online and they did mukbang. So those who happened to be eating by themselves, they could get the feeling, the sensation of eating with another person. That was the origins of the mukbang. It started off, I believe, in was it Korea or Asia? I guess over in countries such as that. It's people don't normally go out and eat alone. So they would watch the mukbangers and kind of just get the experience of almost like somebody was sitting with them and talking and having a meal. And then it migrated over to, over here to the Americas. And then it just turned into something completely different. So that's something interesting about mukbangs. The fact that it didn't start out with eating excessively or eating outrageously. It was just people getting on camera and eating normal meals and talking just like as you do. And then people like Foodie just took it into a whole different direction than how it originally started. And we've got some people in the comments that are like, this is the content I love. Why? Why do you love it? She's a person and she's got a problem with food. She's got bad health and she's eating like this and you're okay with that? You must be a feeder. Shame on you. Anybody supporting her hurting herself this way, shame on you. She doesn't need to be encouraged to eat. She has said, I got a problem with food. I'm always thinking about food. I never stop thinking about food. She has an obsession with food. Nobody should be encouraging her to eat, because the more you encourage her, the more she's going to do it, the more healthier she's going to become. Okay, so let's see. Are there any more comments? Annetta says, seems like you're not happy unless you're eating, and then you don't even take the time to chew it up and swallow it like a dog does. A couple chooses and swallow. It's just crazy. If you take your time chewing it a little bit, you might be able to lose some weight and get fuller faster to your food up to. It's easier for your stomach to digest. But act like somebody's going to get it from you. Don't hurry fast. Yeah, you know what? There's some truth in what Annetta is saying. Anybody that eats, whoever you are, when you start eating, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes for your stomach to send a signal to your brain with chemicals that you're full. So if you chew your food and if you're eating slower, you will consume less. If you're just packing it in, by the time your stomach sends that signal to your brain, you're over full. And in Foodie's case, like she's never full. She's never full. Like she'll fill up and then she'll wait a few minutes and then put more in. She's constantly eating. She really needs to cut that out. Okay, enough with the comments. Let's go on to the actual video. We'll see what Foodie has to say and what she does.
Mashallah, mashallah. Whoa, we have malfouf here, or cabbage rolls, Middle Eastern cabbage rolls. Yum, they smell great. And pasta bechamel with meat sauce. Yum, let's dig in. Let's get to.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. All right.
I'm sorry. Nobody needs that much food. Nobody. If you wanted some of each, you could take a little bit of each, put it on a plate, make it look presentable, and put the rest in the fridge. There's no reason to have two big containers in front of you like that, Foodie, and bread. And you don't need that a whole container of fruit juice next to you. Hello, diabetes. You don't need all that.
So I'm really hungry, so I'm probably going to smash all this food.
Up. A signal to the feeders. I'm going to smash all those food. She's getting them excited.
I've been fasting, so it's...
You lie. You have not.
Ramadan, so this is going to be my iftar for this video.
You've not been fasting.
Oh, and Salah is going to eat something after.
No, he's not, because he's not there.
He has food on the way, so don't worry about him. I know you're going to be like, where's Salah's food? Don't worry. I'm not starving him. Anyway, I'm going to have some berry juice. You might hear a bit of noise in the hallway, but you know what? I was like, I don't care. I need to eat, so... New hallway kids moved in, so yeah, that's the thing. So we have some mixed berry juice.
I know this is kind of off topic, but it's just something I've been wondering. Where's the hamster? Where's Harry? When is the last time we've seen Harry, the hamster? She used to show him all the time, but she barely shows him anymore. What's up with Harry?
Juice. And we have some pita bread. I'm going to eat this is pasta bechamel. I don't think I've ever tried proper pasta bechamel. And we have some cabbage rolls, Middle Eastern cabbage rolls, malfouf. Let's try one right now.
Fork, anybody? Where's the fork?
You guys love cabbage rolls? Yeah.
Why are you eating with your fingers?
Beauty bite.
That doesn't look like finger food to me. So why are you using your fingers?
So it's like cabbage stuffed with rice and herbs, and I can taste dill and like a tomato sauce. Yummy. Wow, these are like really, really good. Yum.
I don't believe that. I mean, I don't believe it's completely terrible, but compared to the way she behaves in her past mukbangs where she would eat the food and then she'd have that brain explosion of the endorphins and the dopamine where her eyes would roll in the back of her head. She's not having that reaction here. So I don't think you're really enjoying the food as much as you normally would.
I see. I should probably eat them with a fork, but
Yeah. Where's the utensils to eat with?
I always put lipstick on just so you can see me with it, and then bye when I eat. There's no point in eating with lipstick, let's be real, especially a glossy one. A matte, okay.
A little interesting tidbit for y'all. Side topic. So I was running around on YouTube and I was watching this documentary about the extreme heat in Kuwait. And there was a young lady who, she lives in Kuwait. She was a mother and talking about the extreme heat over there and how it affects herself and her son. And she came on camera without the abaya, without the hijab, showing her face. So she lives in Kuwait and she did that, but here's Foodie and she's acting like she has to wear the abaya and the hijab. And I do understand that wearing the hijab and wearing the abaya it could be personal choice as well. But Foodie has pressed upon us that, lots of women, they do it, blah, blah, blah. But she was on camera acting that way. So if you want to come on camera, Foodie, and not wear the hijab and not wear the abaya, you wouldn't get in trouble for that.
Some fresh pita. Let me just try making my own bread. Yeah, right. All right. Let's dig into this bechamel. What is it like? Does bechamel have cheese or something? Let me see here.
Why are you digging into your food like that?
I'm gonna just eat it. It's like a pasta sandwich.
Yeah, definitely catering to the feeders.
What the? Oh my gosh. I think this is cheese.
Girl, chew your food and swallow before you take another bite.
Whoa. With like a rigatoni or penne or some kind of like big macaroni. And a creamy ground meat sauce. Oh my gosh. Look at it. Creamy. Oh my gosh. The new word of the day, creamy.
Just digging it. Oh my God. Help me here. I'm so aggravated. Sorry. Not at y'all. Didn't do anything wrong. There's already pasta in that pie tin. There's enough carbs in there. And she's going to add bread on top of that. And there's bread beside her. Just why? Why are you carb loading? You're not going to the gym and burning off a bunch of calories. You don't have a job that requires tons of carbs. Why, Chantal? Just why?
So.
And the way you're eating is it's so gross. It is so gross. This is not me being a mean girl. I'm just giving my honest opinion. This is freaking gross. You eating like this is gross. This is not a good mukbang. This mukbang sucks. This is you catering to the feedy people. Everything you're doing is catering to the feedy people. The eating with the hands, the licking of the fingers, digging into your food. Later on, you're going to drop the food on your hijab. Feeders. Catering to those people. Why not just be honest? Why not just title your channel that cater and say, I'm catering just to you people and screw everybody else on my channel? I'm looking for the fetish guys. I'm looking for the guys that just, they'll pay for that fetish because that's really what you're after. That's really what you want. You're money hungry right now, on top of being hungry for food. Why not just come out and say, I'm catering to those people? Don't be all under the table about it. Just come right out and say it, because clearly that's what you're doing.
I'm back on my anti-diet stuff.
You never were on a diet. And even if you were, for people that have eating problems, diets don't work. They don't work. Diets are not meant for people that have eating problems. Therapy helps you. Unraveling your issues with food helps you. If you've got that problem, you've got to address what's going on in your head, and you've got to address your body. Both at the same time. You can't leave the head out. So you were never on a true diet, Chantal. Going 5 or 6 hours without food isn't a diet.
It's just too depressing, man. I like going to the gym.
No, you don't.
I met some cool people there.
Well, then why didn't you continue? Why aren't we seeing gym content? Why aren't we seeing more content of you actually working out? If you don't want to go to the gym and show yourself because maybe you're embarrassed, maybe you're shy about your body, you can work out at home. You can do stuff at home, do some low impact cardio, watching YouTube videos at home. There's tons of videos on nutrition, on portion control, on any kind of dance you'd want to learn, including belly dancing. Anything you want is on YouTube. You can just put stuff on the big screen on your TV and work out to it and get healthy. You don't have to do this. You really don't have to.
Some nice ladies, and you know, you feel good after a nice workout, working out your muscles and toning and stuff.
Oh, bullshit. You weren't working out. Showing your feet pressing a machine, that's not working out. You never worked out, Chantal. You know what I think? I think you and Sala, you got a trial membership to a gym. You went there specifically to get as much content as you could before the trial ran out. And now the trial has run out. You're not going to go back. But you were using the gym as just an extra content space. And give those people who are on your channel who are not feeders the false hope that you are actually going to take care of your health. And anybody who was around thinking Chantal is going to care for herself, do you get it now? Is it becoming clear she doesn't care about her health? Clearly she doesn't care, because here she is eating a meal that she really shouldn't be eating. If she cared about her health, she wouldn't be eating this in front of the camera, monetizing her problem with food rather than dealing with it. Are you getting it now? I hope you get it. I hope the message is clear. You know, don't be hopeful for Chantal taking care of herself, because it ain't happening. It is not happening.
For me, it's the food part. And I think my brain just like malfunctions the minute I decide to commit to something. I swear. It's an interesting phenomenon. Why did I wear a white hijab? Or is it like cream color? Oh, it's bechamel color.
There's the classic foodie laugh. We haven't heard that in a while. She's trying to bring back elements of her past success into the mukbang to get some of those feeders back that she had when she first started her channel, and her channel started to blow up because of the mukbangs.
If you're a person who doesn't put ice in your drinks, I don't trust you. Some people like lukewarm drinks. Yum, and the pasta is really tender. Okay, this cream sauce with the meat, oh my gosh.
I'm just going to say it. That meal looks like crap. The pasta looks dried out. It looks terrible. It doesn't look like anything appealing to me. That's just me, though.
You know what it tastes like? Like a glorified, like a fancy homemade hamburger helper. Hamburger helper from Kuwait. I have not seen hamburger helper in the store here.
So, big question, Chantal. You talked about traveling with Sala and going to Thailand or other places. So, how is this going to help you with that? Because I don't know exactly when you and Sala plan on leaving Kuwait. I know that you're on a visa, and at some point it's going to run out. So, how is this helping you in your future travels? How is gaining more weight going to help you with your future travels? You want to travel, you want to see places, you want to do things. That's a good dream to have, but having bad health while you do it is not going to help make it a happier experience.
What, like a grocery store? The cheese is not melty right now because obviously, like, when you order something, you know, it takes a while to get here. This is so good and creamy. Oh my gosh.
How can it be creamy if the cheese isn't even melted? It's solid. You're literally having to dig your fingers into the dish to get some of the cheese because it's so solid. It's not even soft. Ugh. Oh, I hate this. I hate it here. I hate this. I hate watching her eat. Not my favorite thing. If you asked me to list my 10 favorite things, this would not be in the top 10. Wouldn't even be in the top 20 or the top 50. And I apologize for anybody else who might feel tortured watching this. I feel your pain. I really do. I'm feeling it right now, as a matter of fact.
I don't know. Cheese. Okay.
Y'all notice that? So she's got the different things in front of her. She took a bite of the cabbage roll. The eyes did not roll in the back of her head. She ate the bread. No eye rolling there. She's sitting there eating the pasta. No eye roll. But the moment she bites into the cheese, suddenly the eye roll comes out. So not everything in front of her is a favorite, but she's going straight for the cheese, and that's when she has that brain explosion moment.
This is officially my new favorite pasta.
It's not the pasta that's making you happy. It's the cheese in the pasta.
What is your favorite pasta? Like, if you were not on a diet, comment below. Do you guys like hamburger helper? I grew up eating that. I mean, it's okay if you don't think about what you're eating. You know what I mean? Whew.
Little observation about doing mukbang, Chantal. If you're going to do a mukbang, from other channels that I've watched, the people who are doing the mukbangs, some of them turn them into ASMR mukbangs. And they do that by not talking at all, making sure the food looks very, very colorful and appealing. And they're concentrating on the chewing sounds, the eating sounds, which are not gross. Or if they're doing a mukbang, they are making it entertaining by conversation. You're doing neither one of those things here. You're not doing an ASMR type mukbang, and you're not making entertaining conversation. You're just stuffing your face in a very rude, gross, crude way and licking your fingers and all that.
Whenever the food came here, I was like, that's a small looking portion, but it's actually really filling and dense. I love smelling bread. I'm weird, I know. If you've been here for years, you already know I'm weird, so I don't have to pretend, right? I never have to pretend. By the way, go watch my Love and Peace documentary on our couples channel.
I did watch it. And because I watched it, I refuse to subject my viewers to that torture. No, that's entirely too much. They don't deserve that kind of torture. Therefore, I'm not going to give it to them. That documentary was so cringeworthy. I was embarrassed for you. As a woman, and especially as an older woman, I was embarrassed for you. I got vibes of, I paid extra, Sala, so you better make it good. Make it good for me, baby. That's the vibe that I got from that video. That you paid him extra, and so he had to pretend a little bit harder to actually love you. And he didn't even succeed. You were looking at him, he was looking at himself. I could almost put captions over the two of you of you saying to him, I love you. And his caption would be, I love me too. That pretty much would have summarized the whole video. Cringe worthy. I am not going to subject my people to that. No, you guys don't deserve that torture. You don't.
Salah and Chantal. If you're looking for a more wholesome side of me, that's where to do it. But if you're looking for, like, you know, more of a messy me, okay. I always play with my hijab, I'm sorry. Anything with dill, a win in my book. If I can keep Bishamel off of my hijab, I'll be happy. It'll be a successful mukbang. But yeah, new hallway, kids moved in, so there's might be some noise. But man, I don't know what they put in the sauce. It's so good. I wish you could try it.
Okay, we're gonna listen. I can't be tortured too long watching her eat. We're gonna fast forward here and there. I know the video is only 21 minutes long, but there's nothing exciting going on here, so let's just move it along.
I don't like doing mukbangs when my relationship with food is bad.
But it's still bad. It's still bad.
But I love doing mukbangs whenever it's not. Like, if I just refuse to feel guilty about what I'm eating, then I love doing mukbangs because I love food.
You know what, though, Chantal? Watching this video, you don't look happy doing this. Not entirely. Like in the past, when you would do your mukbangs, you know what? Even further than that, let's go all the way back in the time machine. Remember when you were still with BB and you would take those late night drives out to the fast food drive ins? I remember I was there watching. I've seen them. You know, you would get all excited about taking those late night drives and turning on your camera and having an audience watch you do something bad. You would drive up to the fast food place and order at the window and then get your food, and you were all excited to eat that food. You know, that was your fix. You were excited to go and get your fix and have everybody watch you. And then when you got the food, you'd eat the food and the eyes would roll in the back of your head. And then I noticed something, that after a while, you would get excited to go, but then because you were so into eating the fast food so much because you were overdoing it, that dopamine rush wasn't happening anymore. And you would get frustrated and cranky because you were looking for that brain explosion of endorphins and you weren't getting it. And so because of that, you hop from one thing to the next thing looking for that rush, that fix, if you will. Watching this mukbang, you're not that excited to eat the food. You're not that happy. You're just eating to eat. That's all it is. It's just you're eating to eat. You're eating to make content. And it doesn't hit the same, does it? The reaction you had then is not the reaction you're having now. You're just eating to eat.
Love. I mean, I don't think I want more bread.
Oh, there we go. Halfway into the video, she finally brings out the utensils. They were sitting there the entire time. But she was busy eating with her fingers like a toddler.
I want to eat with a fork or a spoon.
Well, thank you for showing that you're actually an adult and you can eat with utensils.
Isn't this cool setup? Like I can just sit on the floor and eat with you guys and relax. It's just like a laid back thing, and I get to like.
Not to be rude, Chantal, but we all know why you're sitting on the floor. A, because you're a messy eater. B, if you tried to sit on that couch with that food in front of you on the table, you would have a hard time leaning forward to get the food and bring it up to your mouth. You probably get more food on the couch and the floor than you would into your mouth. So just to be safe, you sat on the floor where you have easier access to the food.
Eat dinner with you guys. It's like I don't know, I really enjoy it right now. You know.
But you're not really eating dinner with anybody because this is not a live chat, it's a video. So you're not really eating dinner with anyone. This is not a case of you doing a live chat and there are people watching you and responding to you. This is a recorded video, so you're eating alone, Chantal.
It depends. Like, I don't think the mukbangs itself are harmful. I think it depends on a lot of factors, like what you're eating the rest of the time, your activity level, your relationship with food, how much you're eating, that kind of thing. Yeah.
You have a bad relationship with food. You overeat. You excessively eat junk food. Your activity level is 0, and clearly you're gaining more weight. So you are someone that you should not be doing mukbang, Chantal, at all, period.
Yum, yum.
Like you're loading up on what, 2,000, 4,000, 6,000 calories. a day and you're not working any of them off. So, what ultimately happens? What you don't burn off, your body stores into fat. And you've gained a tremendous amount of weight. And you need to slow it all the way down before you become bedbound. Because if that happens, Salah is not going to take care of you. He doesn't have the medical training as a nurse to know how to take care of a super morbidly obese patient.
I don't know what bechamel's made of. It's like a white creamy stuff. But it's so tasty. Mm. Don't feel guilty about what you eat. It's like you're better. You're more. How can I say it? More.
You know, the fact that Chantal is on YouTube and doing mukbang content and having a channel, I feel that because she's doing it that way, she avoids the guilt by justifying what she's doing. She can say to herself, well, I do have a channel and I have people on my channel that want me to eat, that encourage me to eat, and I'm making money off of it. So that's how she justifies it. It's my content, it's my channel, I make money with it, therefore it's okay. No, it's not okay, because if we break it down to the simplest common denominator, it's self-harm content, Chantal. You're hurting yourself. And you keep hurting yourself and you're not stopping. It's not okay.
More chances of repairing your relationship with food, because the guilt is what, like, excuse me, the guilt is what perpetuates like a cycle of, like, you know, I feel guilty about this, so I feel like bad about myself, so I'm gonna like go binge eat kind of thing.
You know what, Chantal? Sometimes those feelings of guilt, what you perceive as guilt is your inner voice that is trying to talk to you and inject some reason and logic into a chaotic situation. That voice of reason that's in your head, it's trying to tell you that what you're doing is wrong and you need to stop. It's trying to speak to you. And whether or not you decide you want to listen to it is up to you. But if you're feeling some kind of guilt or shame or embarrassment, that might be reason and logic. You may look at it as guilt. It could be reason and logic trying to stop you from doing things you really should not be doing.
If you have that mentality of like demonizing certain types of food kind of thing.
Damn, son.
It happened. It happened.
You know, Chantal, if you're going to do mukbangs, wearing the abaya, wearing the hijab, for God's sakes, please put a bib on or a piece of fabric or a napkin or something around your neck if you're going to eat that sloppy. At least have some respect if you're going to wear that kind of clothing and do mukbangs. And y'all, look at her abaya. She's already dripped food down her abaya. Look at this right here. Already stained. The abaya is not a bib, Chantal. You shouldn't treat it as one.
But I'm not going to BS. I totally love way too much junk. I know that. It's so tasty. I don't know what to do. The dill. The dill. The dill. What's the dill? Lame joke alert. So,
let's move it along.
I don't know. As Canadians, well, at least this is how I used to like have my lasagna. Like my mom used to make it just like noodles. Um, Cottage cheese. Anyone put cottage cheese in there? I find most people don't.
Talking about food, don't care.
Man. Ooh. I don't think I can do it.
Was this a feeder request? I'm being serious here. I'm not even being sarcastic. So she's eating this meal. Was this a feeder request, Chantal, from somebody? Because it kind of feels like it. It kind of feels like you talked privately with a feeder and they requested this meal. And that's why you're eating it, because this is stuff you don't normally eat. You know, you are a creature of habit. You eat the same things over and over and over and over again, sometimes for weeks, sometimes for months. So if you eat something different, it's usually because a feeder has paid you to. Is that what this is?
Pretty full. That was really, really.
No, you're not full. You are stuffed. There's a difference. Full means you've got some space left in your stomach. Stuffed is when there's no more room. And did y'all notice that little deep inhale that she did? That been there. That means there's no more room left in your stomach. You take that deep inhale when you are stuffed. You are stuffed, Chantal. Don't eat anymore.
Really, really delicious though. Like honestly, that's like one of the best pastas I've ever eaten, at least from takeaway. This whole tray was like, I think maybe it comes out to like maybe around $10 Canadian, which isn't bad. This I don't know. I don't know, but whatever. In case you're wondering, the food's and some things a lot more affordable, and some things a little because like for me to learn, like it's hard to learn things as you get older. So like I find, especially learning another language, and Arabic is not that easy to learn, but I have to learn in like everyday conversation. So
You're not going to do that because you're not interested in talking with people, socializing with people, being around people. You are interested in being alone and being on YouTube and catering to people on YouTube that have a certain fetish. People that don't really care about you, they care about watching you and having their fetish fulfilled.
anyways, guys.
Oh Lord, she is stuffed. See how she can barely breathe, like all that deep inhaling? She is stuffed.
I'm in a food coma now.
Yep. And she deliberately said that because that's what the feeders want to hear.
I actually I'm supposed to go to the gym.
You're not going to go.
That's gonna be fun. Now I see why people eat salad.
You're not going to listen. You're not going to go to the gym after eating like that. Pasta, that kind of dish, it's going to stay in your stomach for at least 4 or 5 hours. There's no possible way you're going to work out with that. No, not happening.
And chicken before the gym because it's hard to do the elliptical when you feel like a stuffed hen.
But you stuffed yourself so that you wouldn't have to work out. So that could be your excuse and your reason for not working out. Salah, I can't work out. I just ate a big heavy meal and made a video, so I can't work out today. You did that on purpose so you wouldn't have to work out.
Do I have any more room?
Oh, Lord, Chantal. I hate this. I hate all of this. I hate this. This was not a fun react. This wasn't. This is dark. So she just sat there and stuffed herself full of food. And she even said, I'm stuffed. took that deep inhale because she's overstuffed. Now she's saying, is there any more room? Again, she's signaling the feeders because they like to hear that too. Oh, she's got a little bit more room in her stomach. She's going to keep going. See, that's the problem with a BED. You can sit there and stuff yourself, and you're looking for just a little bit more room to put a little bit more food in when really you should stop. She has no control. That's why she needs inpatient.
I'm like searching the corners of my stomach.
Yeah, and you'll do that when you've got a BED. You're like, is there any more room in there? Can I put more stuff in there? You got a problem, Chantal. Don't you dare get on camera and say, I conquered my problem with food, because this video proves that what you're saying is bullshit.
No. I'll give babe. No. I think Salah's gonna eat match boost. Match boost.
There's nothing to eat. You didn't hardly leave anything in the tins for him to even heat up in the microwave. That was strictly for you. If you wanted to save something for Salah, you should have taken half of each container, put it on a plate, put it in the fridge for him, and just eaten half, but you ate the whole doggone thing. What is there left for him? Like a little corner of the pasta? That's not even worth heating up, Chantal.
All right, guys. That's it for me. I ate pretty fast. I think my brain is catching up with my stomach now.
Yeah, and now you feel uncomfortable and you feel sick. Because that's what happens when you eat too much and you stuff yourself. You feel physically ill. You don't want to move. You have a hard time breathing. Yeah, been there too.
Oh, I love cold drinks. I haven't had an iced coffee in forever. Add that to my to-do list. My busy list. Must have iced coffee. All right, guys.
Okay, enough with that. That's why it took me so long to react to this video today, because that was dark. Watching Chantal with the experiences that I've had with food, that was really dark. That was not fun. That was so not fun. And I hope that you don't do any more mukbangs like this, Chantal, because even watching you, even though you're trying to force a smile, you're not having fun with this crap. Nor should you. Nor should you. This is not good. There's so many things you could do with yourself and your channel, and you're falling back on things you used to do that made you money. And you're going back there again because you're desperate for money. Stop chasing money. Chase your health. You're making enough money on YouTube, but what you don't have in abundance is your health. But it's up to you. There's nothing that I can do, or your viewers can do, or any reactor can do to turn things around. It's up to you. It's entirely up to you. Your life, your health is your choice. You make bad choices, bad things will happen as a result. You make good choices, good things will happen. So it's entirely your choice. It's completely in your hands. But I'm done with this react. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun at all. Didn't like watching that. Didn't like reacting to that. Things have just gotten, we've been taken down the dark road. Ugh, hate it. All right, I'm out of here, y'all. Hope you guys have enjoyed this react video. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for spending some time here today, and please have a good one. Bye-bye.